And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Another live stream. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrated Thanksgiving here in the States, Aaron and I went. It was our first time ever making a Thanksgiving meal, and it was just the two of us. And I don't want to like toot our own horns and like that, but we kind of killed it. We made a like nearly 13-pound turkey based off of like a YouTube video, and it turned out insane. So we had turkey for like Thanksgiving, Black Friday, the day after, and we have probably got 3 meals worth of turkey in the freezer. So it was awesome. It was definitely an all-day event, but it turned out great, which made it all worth it in the end. If it hadn't turned out good, I think we both would have been pretty sad. But how's everybody doing? We got Panzer here, Carlos, Bigger Fish, Tony, Mitchell, Pi, Kenneth, Ted. I know saw Delmar's got all of his calls going on right now. Hello everybody else. So today is going to be the final stream on the Lerdge IX. This is the third stream on this. We nearly finished all of it in the first stream. And then last stream was primarily doing the wiring side of things. And for anyone that made it to the end, I was so determined to get this to at least power on and home. And we went to power it on and it did not turn on. And so I took a break after the stream and did some investigating that night. And the issue all stemmed from this input switch. And I don't know why. I still don't know why. I checked, the fuse was good. I triple checked the wiring to make sure that things were plugged in correctly. There was continuity. I have no idea why. And I actually thought that it was the power supply that was dead. And so I harvested parts from another printer temporarily and saw that with the other printer's power supply, it was still not turning on. And when I swapped out the switch, everything worked again. So again, I really don't know what the reason is, but it was the switch. So I swapped out the switch and everything has turned on. I haven't done anything with it yet. I wanted us to experience that together. I do know that it powers on, but that's about the extent of it. The other thing is, I had a lot of requests, well, not a lot of requests, I had a fair amount of requests from people tuning in asking us to take a look at it without Clipper, at least initially, because not everybody either wants to Clipper it, has access to some sort of a Pi or small computer that they can actually run Clipper on. Whoa. Is that the reflection? That's trippy looking. Oh, it's my shirt. Yeah, it was tripping me out. I was looking, I was like, what is happening to the screen? Anyways, so yes, we're gonna take a look at it as is. We'll turn it on, run through the interface, get it all calibrated. Probably run Zombie's swatch truck because it is a small test print that will be easy to make sure everything's working. I did, for anyone that missed it, Kiloprints did create a version of this X carriage or toolhead setup that uses heat inserts instead of self-tapping screws. So I did swap that, and I did add a inductive probe. The inductive probe was far too short, and so right before the stream, I extended and soldered some wires to the probe, which I still need to crimp. They're actually, I thought that I had given myself more slack, but it looks like based off where the plug is in here, it should still be fine and give me roughly, I don't know, 5 to 10 millimeters of wiggle room. Probably more like 10 to 20 millimeters of wiggle room, but I thought I'd give myself more slack. Regardless, I'm not worried about that right now because I want to check out the way that they plan for you to set this up, which is kind of like a virtual or manual mesh. So we're gonna take a look at that. And hey, what's up, Mr. Is it V-Brick? Vatrick? What's going on? Yes, it is a very, very red printer. It does look nice. I will say that I spent a little bit of time. The only other things I've done is spend a little bit of time on cable management. So I went kind of crazy with zip ties. I cleaned up back here. I added the top here, and that's all zip tied down. There's not exactly a ton of space beneath here, but anyways, let's go ahead and turn this printer on and take a look at it. Made a K2 clips mystery? What is that? I need to see that. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? If you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope everybody had a nice time. What's up, Booty? All right, so we're flipping the switch, and then the way that this works is you need to press the power button on here twice. So 1, 2, and we've got, nope. 1, okay. Maybe it's not 1, 2 so quickly, a little bit slower. But anyways, let's take a look at it. So I mentioned this last time, but Lerdge has been around for quite a long time. They were probably the first 32-bit board that I ever used. Let me see if I can get it in focus for you guys so we can take a look at the menu. How are we going to do this? Let's see if I zoom. That might work. It's gonna trip out, so let's see if I can get it in manual mode. That should work. It's in manual now, so it'll stop flickering. Yeah, drag chains are nice. The downside is, so I hadn't ran the inductive probe through the drag chain, and so before this I was like, oh, I'll just do that really quick. Well, I don't know if it's because they're cheap drag chains or if it's me or what the deal is, but I went to pop open the first link on the drag chain with the little flathead, and the chain, it flew up, the little clasp, it flew off. Instead of like hinging outward, it flew off, hit the ceiling, and bounced down. And then I was crawling around the ground to try to find it. So once I did that, I was like, okay, let's try this a little bit differently. The second one, I tried to remove the little cover on it, and it like snapped the end of it. And I was like, all right. So I ended up just basically fishing the inductive probe wires through the chain versus opening it. It's probably because of the fact that there's all the wires in here too that's putting a little bit of force on it, so it's kind of expanded. And so there's not as much slack or wiggle room inside for the latches to quickly open. But yeah, I do like that it has drag chains, just don't want to open them ever again if I don't have to. So this is the home screen. I mentioned again that this was probably Lerdge, the first 32-bit board I think I'd ever used or gotten in. And they've been around for a long time. They've, before Big Tree Tech, way before Big Tree Tech, were probably one of the very few, not reliable, but affordable 32-bit boards available with like TMC, silent, dynamic drivers. So they've been around for a long time. Their firmware is proprietary. They did release the ability to clipperize, I believe, pretty much all of their boards at this point, as of just recently, which is pretty cool. So anyways, the way their setup works is pretty neat, where you pretty much, I believe you can also modify the firmware using a micro SD card, and I don't remember if it's a TXT file or what format, but you also, and what most common is that you just modify the firmware from the LCD screen. It gives you access to basically everything. So we click settings, we go under structure, you know, we've got our travel settings. So this is our max for X, Y, and Z. We've got our bed size. So X-axis bed edge size, Y-axis bed edge size, which I think is probably our offsets because the nozzle goes slightly over it. We've got, what else do we have? Home position settings. Does it home towards the min or max? Z-axis lift, so you can choose how high you want the Z to lift before it does the homing sequence. Pause settings, so what happens after it pauses? Retract speed when pause, retract length when pause. So cool, you get that change filament settings. You've got the speeds, length, extrusion length, retract length, min temperature, advanced settings. What do we have here? So homing offsets, end stop settings. You can choose whether it's NC or NO. Auto level settings. So number of leveling points, the probe offsets, probe used for Z min. Firmware retract settings. Well, that's kind of cool, but you can easily modify the firmware retract from here. Let's see what else. Linear advanced settings, which a lot of this stuff's quite new. I don't remember this all being here when I used this board or this, year or two ago, or even longer at this point. X-axis function settings, motor use. Gotcha. So this is, I believe, I think there's one extra stepper slot that we're not using, which they call the X-axis or extra axis, that you can use for these different axes. But yeah, you get a lot of control. So that's structure. Motors, you can adjust your acceleration from here. So it looks like default. Printing is set to 2000, 2500 for travel. Extrusion acceleration, what's limiting acceleration? Okay, so your max accelerations. Speed, limiting speed, jerking speed, homing speed. Step values can be adjusted from here. I mean, just about everything, right? Inverting your direction for the stepper. So it's kind of neat. Again, it's not, what does that do? Timeout settings. It's definitely not like any other firmware I've used, in the sense that, you know, again, it is closed source, which is a bummer because of the fact that you just don't have the same level of control as, you know, an open source firmware. But I will say that these guys aren't new. Like I said, they've been around. I don't know when they started, but I've known of them for at least 4-ish years, at least. I'd have to go back and see when I first actually either covered some stuff on there, but it's definitely a pretty cool setup for what it is, which I understand it's not for everybody. And then system info, calibration, TP. Oh, it's for the touch panel. Okay, UI reversal, password, sound you can turn off. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Color palette, so you can change the color. Well, it needs to be red naturally to match the red. Yeah, so that looks nice. Hey, what's up, Hacks Potato? I think maybe 6 years, similar time as Smoothie. Okay, yeah, maybe it's 6 years. It's been, time is such a weird thing for me, unless I have some form of actual timestamp where I can look back, which is usually my videos. I don't remember, but yeah, I know it's been around for years. That sounds right then. It's when 32-bit boards were even becoming a thing. I remember it, yes, with the original Smoothie board. That's around the time I think I remember. It was when Smoothie was one of the options. This was an option. There was Panicat had some boards, and that was kind of it from what I remember. It is Polymaker filament. I don't know. I think he used PETG for his build, though, right? I don't think he does quite as much ABS. So I know that they told me that they had put together some guides or videos on the calibration setup. So we'll just quickly, these are long. I don't want to watch, I don't want to watch all these. Let's see. Just the engagement between the pulley and the profile. Okay, I already did that. So that's basically just, this is adjusting the roller wheels. I did that, so I can confirm that those are fine. Belt tensioning, I think I already checked these. I don't want them super tight. Yeah, I think I'm okay with the tension of the belts. I had already kind of checked that as well. Adjust the parallelism of x-axis. It is the exact same color. It's on me. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Yeah, I think his is PTG. I'm almost positive. It'd be tough to print some of those massive parts in ABS. Raise the printer a little higher to facilitate. Okay, I think this is basically just having us check, yeah, whether the arm is parallel to the printing platform.
Hello, everyone.
Hey! Hey, Improve! Thank you very much for the €2. Hello, how's it going? Have you seen about the Slice Engineering post about IP? It's not great. Also, Bez said about it, and the Goliath can read his response on a video. I saw someone talking about it on Twitter, basically, that they didn't like the choice of words that were used, and I didn't look much further into it. I have not looked much further into it. The last thing I saw about the Goliath was, okay, let me turn this off. Kind of cool too, because of the fact that there is a relay hooked up to, oops, that's me. There's a relay hooked up to this. If you go over here and you click shutdown, it can actually kill the power supply power, so it'll completely turn it off, which is kind of cool. So you don't actually have to go around the back and flip the switch to kill the power. So let me see here. So it's saying it wants us to sort of put this on a little bit of incline. Yeah, what's the latest with the Goliath? I thought that I had seen Vez had sort of done some revisions to it, and it was seeming like things were going to be okay with it. I don't know if there's been an update. I know that the sort of IP thing from Slice is pretty dang new though, because I saw that in the last, I want to say 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is kind of get down on low level. Let me drop this bed a little bit more, and I'm just going to visually move this, move this back side to side and try to visually inspect. This is tough with a camera. Give me a sec. Looks decent to me. This is moving like crazy, but I don't think, oh, no. It definitely goes down. I lied. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What do they recommend for us to adjust the arm? Let's see. That's not, yeah, Mercury 1 starting next week. I did get confirmation from Fabrico that the shims shipped out. I think he just messaged me today. I haven't actually responded yet, but I saw the message. Hey, Rob. Hey, Alien. Sorry, I missed you guys coming in. But I did get the message that they are on the way. So yeah, after this, we will definitely be starting the Mercury 1 next week. How much is this little thing, by the way? 180 sounds right. That's not including, so that's without printed parts. Like mine, or this one here, I printed the parts myself. And then $25 an upgrade. So $205 for this exact version, which replaces the back plates from some sort of polymer to aluminum, anodized aluminum, and then it gives you a bimetal heat break so you can print, higher temps. Hey, what's up, Skydown? You could totally mount the Goliath on this. You might be a little limited in terms of Z height. Okay, what do they want us to do as far as, so I've done this side by side, cool. I just want to see what they loosen. Okay, what did you loosen, guys? Oh, is it just loosen the screw, don't take it out? Is it just the one screw? Okay, we're gonna loosen 2 screws on the back of this guy, so that way I can tweak it a little bit. I guess we're just trying to get a relatively parallel starting point. That is too small of a bolt. And then we will use their mesh thing. I'm excited to install the inductive probe because I just prefer having that over trusting that this thing is going to stay. Let's see if I loosen that. I think I need to loosen. Holy shit, that is tight. Okay. Let's kick you guys. Okay. I'm gonna move this to the side. I'm just gonna do this as quick as I possibly can. So I think I definitely loosened it far too much at this point. Yeah, let me re-secure this just a little bit so that way I have to actually put a little bit of elbow grease into it. Okay, so we're just checking nozzle. Definitely still dropping down. Hey, Rob, thanks for becoming a member. All right, that looks much better. Let me tighten this, make sure that nothing shifts too much during the tightening process. It looks like there's much less sag in the cantilever arm now. So let's see, from the farthest point of the bed, roughly that gap. All right, let me drop it down a hair lower. I think that's pretty damn close. There still might be a hair of a difference, but it is substantially better than it was a moment ago. Nobody's biting. 46 viewers, only 26 likes. Yeah, smack the like button, please. Also, I don't know. There was no letter that came with it, but somebody, I'm assuming somebody from chat last week ordered the like rocking chair for the baby room, and yeah, I was hoping there would be a note of sorts, but there was not. And so whoever you are, if you want to message me, I definitely want to say thank you. Like me and Aaron both want to say a major thank you. We built it, it came in yesterday, we built it, and it's awesome. So again, I'm assuming it was someone from last week's stream, because it was talked about in stream a little bit, and then afterwards I happened to get notification. So whoever you are, mystery person, thank you very, very much. On Baby Talk, the crib, we ordered the crib and it showed up completely destroyed. It came in like 2 days ago and we were all excited, and I went to build it and one of the wood frame pieces was split in half. It looked like UPS or USPS had drop kicked the damn thing. Registry is not on Discord. The only place I've posted it so far is on this channel, under the community tab. I didn't know, in Discord I didn't know where to post it because things get lost so easy in Discord unless you search for them, and so I figured the community tab was probably a good place to do it. Adjusting the verticality of the lead screw. Okay. I think we're fine on this. Okay, I think we just go the leveling route. I toss it in announcements, to be honest. Maybe. I don't know. It's still weird about, like, I only shared it because it was asked about, you know. I don't know if I want to post it, like, I don't want to tag it. Maybe I can post it but not tag everybody then or something like that. I feel bad about tagging everyone for it. Vez has done some revisions, still has standoffs for the heater, but it doesn't, it's done differently, and the heat break is not one piece, so the standoffs aren't supporting. Okay, gotcha. Interesting, yeah. I'm hoping that thing does come to market, because it seems like Vez has put a lot of work into it, and it would be a real shame for it to just not be able to come out. And at least, you know, even if it is a slightly revised version from the initial plans, it still would be really cool to see. So let's go ahead and do the leveling on this guy now. So let's plug this in. We are doing our Polymaker filament giveaway, which will open in an hour and 8 minutes. I think today is going to be a slightly smaller or shorter stream, I guess would be the word, not smaller, because we're just kind of printing and hanging out, and next week we're starting the Mercury 1 build, so I kind of feel like maybe a slightly shorter stream before we dive into a build might not be a bad idea. I do that, people bash when you're at baking. Yeah, I think that's what I will likely do. Christian, also, I know you mentioned last week that you and your wife had sent they were like, I think like onesies or little baby outfits. They did show up. Thank you very much. Last week I said, I don't know if they showed up. They showed up like literally the next day. So thank you, Christian, and your wife. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this little booklet. I think all that's really left is to do their little leveling setup. So key interface, check the functions of more, check the functions of the end stops. So yeah, let's actually let's do that before I jump the gun, make sure everything's working correctly. So we'll go settings, and let's go move. Where's the home button? Am I missing it? Oh, there's a big home button right there. Okay, well, it seems like that works. I'm sure I'm gonna have to adjust. Yeah, the Z's definitely not right. So check the functions of the motors, check the functions of the end stops, that all works. Adjust the Z-axis origin position. The trigger baffle, the Z-axis home adjuster, can be extended or shortened to adjust. First loosen the screw, extend the travel to the longest, and then tighten the screw to fix it. Then manually rotate the lead screw. Manually rotate the lead screw and lower the X-axis cantilever to ensure the baffle can smoothly extend and stop. The screen indicator, document lines at this time. Choose a fixing screw of the baffle. Okay, so so it looks like if I go motor off, so now I should be able to freely rotate this. I think I'm going based off the LED then. So there is this, you guys can very much see it. Hey, what's up, Hybrid? Hi, Caitlin. There is this screw right here. So it looks like what it's saying is, man, I don't want to damage the little, there we go. Okay, cool, yeah. So basically I'm going to move the nozzle until it's like, it just needs to move like 5 millimeters in each direction. So that way it's over the bed. And now I'm going to drop this. Okay, so nozzle is basically touching bed or resting on bed. And so now it seems like based off what it's saying, I need to just like ever so slightly get it to trigger there. Okay. It's a little bit tricky because, okay. I guess there's, okay, that seems about right. I think I'd rather have it a little bit too far away. Let's try it like that. That seems pretty good. I'm sure me tightening the screw is gonna slightly screw with that, but we'll try it like that. Okay, so that should be okay. Hey Lisa, thanks for becoming or renewing your membership. 5 months, that looks great. Cable managing for Ender today. Which Ender is it? Is it the one that you did the belted Z mod to? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way things have all turned out. Again, the last thing, and I'll probably do it after stream, is just crimp these 3 wires and plug them into the board so that way I have the option to use the inductive probe. And I'll probably make sure it's working correctly with their firmware and then likely do clipper. For this one, I'm probably just going to see, I think I still have a Pi 2 Zero somewhere, so I'm probably just gonna use that. It's a small printer. I think I can find hopefully I can find a mounting point. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. Just because of the fact that it's a cantilever and there's not exactly a lot of spare extrusions all over this thing, but I'll figure it out. I just got home from the doctor's. Oh man, I hope everything is going okay, or everything well. You're a humble, nice guy. A lot of people appreciate what you do and the content you make. People want to give something back to you, make them a surprise for you, but not to us. Thank you, Christian. Is what I was trying to say when you two ate the comment. Thank you, Christian. I did want to state, so last random thing, we're trying to stay on task a little bit today. So the main channel is getting crazy close to 100,000 followers, which is just like bonkers. And originally, I think we were going to be reaching it towards like end of January, beginning of February, but due to the performance of some of the recent videos, it looks like we're gonna hit it in 2022. Like we're scheduled sometime towards the end of December. Because it came up so quickly, I have not had the mental capacity to sort of plan a lot of stuff around it like I originally wanted to do. So I'm kind of not, I'm on the fence about what I want to do. The kind of initial thought was that we would do a stream on that channel, which I don't know how many people would show up. The biggest issue with that is that it would likely be similar to the 2 streams we've done on this channel for celebratory streams, where it's like hang out with giveaways and stuff. But because I haven't had time, I need to reach out to vendors and sort of orchestrate it. The other thing is sort of like maybe just doing a giveaway of some, like a giveaway, but maybe not a full live stream thing. But I'm curious, I'm open-minded. I definitely want to celebrate it. It's a huge, I've been making videos on YouTube since I was 19. I'm 30 now. So like, it's a big accomplishment that I really want to celebrate in one way, shape or form. There's been so much happening that I haven't, it came up quicker than I was anticipating. So, I'm trying to figure out what do we want? If I can get it together, do we want a live stream or not necessary? I kind of just want some feedback on it. Because if we are going to do a live stream, then I definitely need to start orchestrating that. The good thing is that Erin is home now and she would be able to help me out. And I already thought of the date. If we are going to do a live stream on that, again, it would be on that channel, since that's the channel that's hitting the 100,000, and it would be after the new year. because I realize that Christmas time is a terrible time for trying to do something with everyone being with their families or traveling or, you know, doing whatever. So it would very likely be on January the 4th, which is the first January, nope, the first Wednesday in January. So, I'd be cool just to hang out. I don't need to do any giveaways or anything. Live stream is good. I feel like I want to, like, that's the thing though, right? Alien is like, as part of it, like, I want to give back as much as I possibly can. And if there are manufacturers willing to sponsor some giveaways, then I would definitely like to do that. I want to make it fun. I don't want it to be an exact copy and paste of what we just did. I thought the number thing was super cool. And that was like all of my creative, how do we make this fun game show thing? And so I don't want to do exactly that. I'll have to talk with Aaron, do some research and see, but I will do what I can, and I would say if at all possible, then just mark calendars for January 4th if you want to be there. And again, it'll be on that channel. It'd be the exact same time as we always do, and I'll figure out the rest between now and then. So 4th sounds awesome. Hope you're doing well today. Hey, hey Dennis. Do what you need to make an event you want. Don't rush. Excited to see how this prints. Hang out and eat pizza. Yeah, I'll probably give myself a cheat day and actually eat some pizza and have some Dr. Pepper. If there's an excuse to break my healthy eating and LaCroix drinking and just salads now. Okay, cool. So I'll see what I can do. I have some ideas. This isn't like I just started thinking about this now. I've been thinking about it on and off for a couple weeks. It just, again, I thought I had more time. And not the case. So okay, cool. That's what we'll do then. We'll do a stream on the 4th. I will end up announcing more info as I've got it, and I will start to sort of put together the pieces a little bit more between now and then. So thank you everybody. Okay, so let's set up balloons you can pop with numbers written on them, and the prize is in the balloon. It's not a bad idea. I actually, balloons and popping, if you ask Aaron, was one of the ideas I had for the last stream when we did the printed numbers. So maybe we'll do something like that. And I will have Aaron here to help, so that will be really nice. It'll be nice to have her like we had for the first giveaway thing. So, did you order your bacon? Do you mean beacon, the beacon leveler? I have not ordered it yet. I'm probably going to put it on the Mercury 1, but I want to build the Mercury 1 first and then look into what sort of modifications I need to do to get that added. Drinking LaCroix deserves recognition. Hold on. Okay, all right, let's do this. Let's get this going. All right, focus mode. All right, homing the axis. I think that maybe I did not, I don't know, the Z doesn't look perfectly level. I'll screw that later though. Okay, leveling the platform. So for leveling the platform, we are clicking on leveling icon. It says to click the icons of X, Y, and Z, the main interface, turn the system, level the platform. Okay, enter the leveling control interface. After clicking the manual leveling icon, which is a picture of a hand, that's a pretty, I don't know how well you can see that, but it shows quite literally a hand with a piece of paper. Cool. After the Lerdge will perform the homing of each axis, and then the printhead will move to the position of the first point. At this time, click the plus or minus icons. Okay, cool. Let's just use, I was looking around for a piece of paper, and we don't probably need the bomb for this anymore, the checklist that it came with. Coolest thing I've ever printed, in my opinion. Time to babysit the house in every room. Yeah, you're not joking. Yeah, I don't know. foam on everything. So the favorite thing I've ever printed is probably out in the garage actually right now because it's not currently working, and my parents, I was trying to get rid of it. My parents ended up buying it off me because they loved it so much. But it was my mini desktop arcade, which I damn it, I know I said I wouldn't get distracted. I'm a liar. Let's see, Modbot arcade. Yeah, so this is the second one I built. This is the first one I built, which was 4 years ago. And one of the reasons I got into 3D printing originally was to do like video game mods, not necessarily like mini arcade cabinets per se, but this was like completely designed by me, which I know to advanced 3D artists, look at that, you can see some terrible print quality, to like advanced 3D artists or modelers that might not seem too impressive, but for myself, this was by far the biggest project I'd ever done up until, this was again 4 years ago. Let's see, does it have the exact date? January 23rd, 2018. So coming up on 5 years ago, I hadn't really done any 3D modeling. And this was one of the first, like, my dive into, I think this is in Fusion is what I had modeled it in, but I loved it. Like, I was so proud. Like, I did my custom little splash screen for it, and I just loved it because I love video games. I love the classics, and it was so fun to be able to play little arcade games. And I had like speakers in it. It had, you know, the Raspberry Pi had Bluetooth, so I could hook up, you know, 2 controllers and play with my buddy that I was living with at the time. Look, you can see my my modified ANA A8 in the corner right there. Man, this thing on a wire rack like this was like a printer on stilts, basically. Just the most unsecure thing ever. But yeah, I think that's probably one of my favorites. I know that there's more. I know that there's more. I can't. Right now, that's what's coming to mind. Definitely one of my I think most proud prints still. I love it so much. So yeah. So that's that. Got my 3rd serial for the 3rd V0. Now to order a gray LDO kit. Hey, what's up, G-Funny? So yeah, they have the. I've seen that they have those for the Switch. I just set up a pretty big CNC machine in the garage for some other stuff, and I'm hoping to be able to make either full size, or I don't think I can cut full size on it, but like a, you know, kind of top up arcade that's at least 2 players. It's been a goal of mine for a while. I saw someone, I don't know what we were watching, Aaron and I, where someone had a wall mounted one of those, so that way it still brought it up to like eye level, which I don't know what kind of anchors or like stud, like I'm sure you need quite a lot to hold it up because it should be pretty heavy, especially with wood, but that's kind of something I also want to do. So hey, what's up, Tom? Okay, so let's do the leveling thing now. Yeah, let's see. So by clicking the plus and minus icon, distance of the nozzle, you can modify the unit distance and the printhead moves. So we're basically just doing our usual paper back and forth here. So first thing is too close, so let's go plus, and it's doing, oh, that was, so we've got the ability to change by 0.01, 0.1, or a whole millimeter. So let's go down. I'd rather have it a bit closer than further, I feel, so I think that's probably okay. So we'll go to the next spot. But yeah, I believe that the way this is going to work is it's sort of going to use the data from these 4 points as a way to create its own mesh between the points. So it's not a big mesh, obviously, since it's only going to be, I think, 4 points or 5 points. I believe it includes the center. But I'm curious to see how it works. Okay, so 0.3 feels too tight or too close. I think I'm gonna go with a little bit too close for this and just see what happens. So we definitely still have a little bit of lean in our cantilever, because for the right side, I had to adjust it by 0.35, and the left side was what, like 0.09. So, I mean, I did correct a fair amount of it with adjusting the bolt, but it's still clearly not perfect. So this side I'm imagining is probably gonna be similar. No, there's a little bit less here, so let's go. Let's try like that. Very warm community here too so far. No friends. Friends don't let friends be there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always been under the sort of notion that like 3D printing is not a one shoe fits all, and that's what makes it awesome, is because everyone has their own sort of like needs and use cases and wants, and I really appreciate that about 3D printing. It's what's actually kept me so, I think, engaged for so long, is that it's not defined by too many rules, and I really like that. But yeah, I've tried my best to sort of be as inclusive as possible in terms of, you know, I don't care if you print with PLA or exclusively, or if you're carbon fiber nylon, you know, it doesn't, we're all just wanting to print better, you know, better parts, quicker parts, have fun, do something for work. Like, you know, we all have our goals, but we all love the technology, or sometimes despise it. You know, I'll attest to that. I've done some troubleshooting recently that's had me wanting to pull, you know, some hair out. Okay, so the automatic leveling point. Be sure to click the in the leveling interface. Click the 5 icon in the hotbed frame. What? Oh, okay. Cool, so we did that. Now it saves. When you press the arrows, it says it's saving that data to the firmware. In the leveling control interface, press the center icon. So that's what we're gonna do next. Left display, and the bed will move to the 5%. This time you can check the leveling effect of each position. The nozzle just touches the printing platform. Okay. I think that's fine. I think we're good. I'm not saying it's great, but I think it'll be okay. Hey, what's up, Sam? ABS for the win, except when I need to use PLA. I want to use it. Yeah, I like fun. No fun allowed. This is a no fun zone. Yeah, if you're not having at least some fun with 3D printing, you're definitely doing it wrong. But granted, again, I understand the frustration element. I was recently testing out some stuff, and just things were not working the way that I felt that they should, and it was frustrating. Erin knows it. She's seen me sometimes. How are things going? And I'm like, printers. Okay, so preheat Hotend, load filament, print the first model, download the three. Oh, interesting. Apparently they have a benchy test model. So one thing I'm sort of curious about, let's load some filament. I think we're okay. I think we're good on this. Filament loading button. It's funny that their filament loading button, so they haven't changed it, but their filament loading button, to me, and I'm not entirely sure, but it almost reminds me of like a pallet jack with a massive spool on it. I don't know how well you can see it coming through. I like that Ivan Miranda prints all this. His machine, though, is PTG, right? I'm almost positive his machines aren't in PLA. But his tank and stuff was in PLA? I actually didn't even know that. 3D printing is so frustrating but also fun. It's the worst thing in the world and the best. Can't explain it. Yeah, the thing with 3D printing is that there are absolutely a ton of times now over the years, Chad is freaking out, where it is super frustrating. And now the challenges are kind of different than before. Before it was, for me, like a lot more of the why won't the thing stick? Like, cool, I've got my adhesion stuff pretty well down, and like now it's other things, right? But they can still be really frustrating, and it's oftentimes like many hours of me trying values, not getting anywhere, Googling stuff, trying values, not getting anywhere, experimenting, you know, and then when you do finally get it, it is just the most rewarding feeling, and you're like, yes, until something else happens, and then you're back to, you know, frustration. So I've been pretty much exclusive with red PLA, texture prints with some odd material. Was it hard to the Silva 06,000 for TPU? No, it wasn't hard to get the 06,000 for TPU. I don't think I did much of anything special, other than I probably slowed print speeds down a little bit and then dialed back on retractions. I'm always a little iffy with TPUs and retracting too much because, anyways, let me, one second here. Change filament, auto. Interesting. So you can cold extrude. That's not great. I wonder if that's a setting that I can change, but it's definitely letting me, you can hear it probably, maybe not. It's got the filter on. Let's preheat this. So, and let's use, I think red is the theme. So let's use this Polymaker Christmas red PLA. Yeah, with retractions and TPUs, it's probably not as big of a deal with the fairly constrained extruder on the SP06. But I definitely still have, because of kind of like how long I've been 3D printing, some of the stuff that used to be a reality aren't really a reality anymore. And so I still have like some levels of PTSD from just many frustrating experiences. And when I first started trying to print TPU, like everything, like nothing was very constrained. And I had plenty of times where any level of retraction would cause clogging or issues. And so I still with TPUs drop the retraction to very, very low. And if I start getting successful prints, maybe I'll raise it a little bit to help with some of the stringing. But my old rule of thumb with TPUs was turn off retraction completely. You don't have to do that anymore. Again, especially on a direct drive setup, but you still want to make sure that it depends also on the elasticity. I think I printed 95A shore hardness, which is like soft. Okay, so this is 95A, which is fairly flexible. Man, this feels soft for 95A. It's supposed to be 95A. But like elasticity wise, it's not super stretchy, right? Like it bends, but like it's not real stretchy. This on the other hand is Ninja Flex, which is 85A shore hardness, I believe. I've had this stuff for a really long time. So one, it's softer. It's way more like wet noodle. And also if I show like as far as how much the material stretches, it's substantially more. I mean, we're talking 2 to 3 times the length. And so this material, you'll have way more issues with retraction, because if it has this pull on it and it gets beyond, like, so let's say you've got extruder and you've got nozzle and it pulls out too far, it can't just quickly push back. Like once it loses that sort of grip or flow, it'll sort of shoot back up here and then it'll try to flow out. And what'll happen is it'll either clog completely, because if TPU is not constantly flowing, it can tend to clog, or you'll just get some under extrusions because it'll take a little bit longer for it to actually make its way out the nozzle again. Why am I keeping my TPU out in the open? Because I'm crazy? No, I don't have, well, I have bags. I have no excuse, zombie. I don't know why I keep my TPU out in the open. My rule of thumb is if I'm printing TPU, this stuff goes in a dryer overnight before I actually touch it. So like, and also, to be fair, this Ninja Flex is probably like 3 years old. It does not get used very often because it's just, like, one, it's pricey, and two, it's just like really special occasions. But yeah, I would never print with this expecting good results without drying it realistically overnight with the TPUs. I do have those vacuum bags, but I don't know, man. I don't have a great answer to that. I missed Steve. Hey, Steve, thank you. Wow, 6 months. Thanks for renewing your membership. Everybody, it looks like everyone already said hi, Steve. I don't even have to say, everyone say hi, Steve. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, man. All right, let's go ahead and load some filament in here. So let's go back to side cam. Dan. Oh, Dan's here too. I missed Dan in chat. Sorry, everyone that I missed. Got a little bit on a TPU tangent right there. Yeah, TPU though is much easier. Well, it hasn't necessarily gotten easier to print, but the hardware has gotten so much better that it's easier to print. Both on Bowden as well as direct drive, but I still I'm printing on a Bowden right now, but if I have a choice, I much prefer a really good direct drive. They've gotten just so good, and there's so much less weight with them now. I wonder if I'm supposed to have a little bit of a guide tube here. I feel like maybe. Oh no, it has a little printed guy. That's right. I forgot we installed that. Okay, so we've got the filament run out triggered. We can see it lighting up in green. Swatch truck fun. Thanks for renewing your membership, zombie. Shout out to the Pezliz star. I haven't seen the Pezliz star. Yeah, it was good. Even nicer having a couple of extra days off. Oh yeah, I bet. Okay, let's see if we can load some filament here. Did you guys do turkey, Steve, or what'd you guys make? That Christmas themed printer, red printer with green tush. Oh man, it is Christmas themed. Okay, so let's see. Nope, turn cooling fan on. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Load filament. Let's go 100 millimeters inward. Maybe a little bit too quick on the speeds here for the old printer. All right, well, it did extrude a little bit of material. Hey, what's up, Ed? Yeah, my made a great turkey. Nice. Yeah, we did. Oh yeah, the spool adapters are awesome. This week's video will cover spool adapters and Polymaker, Filament, and AMS stuff and all that. I'm pretty excited about it. I was really happy with the end result. Can't wait for MicroSwiss NG to get here. Hoping to see it this week, but it might be Monday. That is definitely an awesome extruder. I saw them printing the softest TPU that I've seen printed on an FDM printer at Murph with it, which was, was it 65A, or it was less, maybe even less than that, from Coex. I've talked about them before on this channel, but they have a ridiculously soft TPU that MicroSwiss was printing there, and they let me like squeeze it after, and I'm like, oh my god, it feels like silicone. Okay, so the thing is, I don't know if there's any sort of info as far as slicers or profiles or anything. STL latest firmware, use tutorial, kit assembly, model, display, other, store, board, tutorial, download? Lerdge Z, language package, Lerdge X, no. It says in their guide, one second here, it says in their book that they've got, no, you haven't missed the first print yet, Beef. I want to do a swatch check, but they also download the 3D Benchy testing file on Lerdge website. Where? Where is it? Okay, so clearly not on this page, so there's nothing here. Kit assembly manual. Maybe if I go to this, oh, you know what? What happens if I go to the end of this? Nope, not there. Not there. I doubt it's here. I wonder if they have it. Let me see. 3D printer calibration. All right, let me do, let's see. Lerdge IX Benchy. Nope, that's my video. Okie dokie. So I guess we can go with like an Ender. Is there an Ender 2 Pro profile? At least create an Ender 3 profile and change the bed size. I was gonna say, I wonder if there's just like an Ender 3 profile. This is probably an older version of the slicer. System presets. Nope. Where's the add remove printers? Creality. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, let's just go with an Ender 2. I feel like that's going to have, I mean, I know it's close to the Ender 3, but I want to say it almost has the exact same bed size too. So max print height, I guess I'm not entirely correct there. I think this is 180 by 180 by 180. Okay. Did it come with an SD card? I don't think it... That's a great question. Is there another... I didn't see one. That doesn't mean it didn't. I have been known to misplace a thing or two. See, I don't see any SD card. It might have come with one though. Don't fully hold it against them because let's see. Electronics, heatsink, motor driver, motherboard, power unit, display. These are all screws and bolts, accessories, switch button. I don't see it, unless it's on the little part that I ripped off. No, I don't think it did. I don't believe it did. No, it's not in the printer. I just checked. There's nothing in there. I might have plugged it in to look for info when I got it. It's possible. I mean, I had this printer for a couple of months now. Okay, we can go with what Zombie says. Ender 3. Do Ender 3 BL Touch? Wait, why BL Touch? I lied. We're gonna do the. Wait, did I not add it? Ender. Curl the Ender 2.4. No, this printer doesn't have a probe. I added the inductive probe, but it's not wired in yet. I wanted to run it how they have it, which is basically with their sort of like virtual mesh based off of what I just did with the 4 corners. Let me see. Okay, what did I just do? 1 sec. Yeah, we're gonna go with this because it doesn't have a leveling probe. That makes sense then why you were saying to go that route then. I understand now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave everything as is. PLA default, so that's fine, I guess. I'd rather have the fan speed at 100% if possible at all times after. We can do a little bit less on the bottom, maybe 2 bottom layers, 4 top. Infill, 20% is fine. We'll do gyroid. I like having skirts so I can check on things. Okay, let's do I have the swatch truck? I feel like it should be on here. Extrusion testing, probe mount. Hedgehog. Wait, no, that's not it. Swatch truck. All right. Hit save next to the drop down. Flow rate is set to extrusion multiplier 1. All right, we're just gonna try it. I'm gonna use. God, do I even have a spare micro SD card? That is a great question. I think I do, probably here. Haha, there's one. Probably gonna be one of this. Yeah, 128 megabytes. So one of the ones that probably came with a big Tree Tech board. All right, let's see if this will work. Ooh. Okay. All right. Is my computer going to detect it? That is the question. If not, I think I might have a flash drive, which I would set that to 0.92 for the default. Superset settings is somewhat. I can do that. I can do that, Zombie. Awesome. So this micro SD card's not going to work. Do we have a flash drive? Flash drive, anybody? Let's see. These are both adapters. Yes, they are. I don't know if this will work. This is a oh, 16 gigs. Yeah, it'll probably read this. We'll try flash drive. I'd much rather use a flash drive than a micro SD card anyway. Okay, this has a bunch of resin slicing stuff on it. Okay, so let's adjust the flow rate. We'll do 0.92. Slice, export. Wait, what were the speeds at? I didn't check that, did I? Speeds. Internal one. That's pretty. Oh wow, we're using that's pretty aggressive. I don't think it'll hit that. Let's just try it. Let's just see how it lays down. Swatch truck shapes. Okay. Honestly, I've been using Precisizer for my non-clipper printers. Yeah, I've primarily been using Super, but the snug supports are something that I wish was in Super. I still don't think they've adapted it. Why are you not going in? And the new tree supports are going to be something I'll probably want to play with. Okay. So, print, flash drive, swatch truck. Oh, can you not? Really? Interesting. You have to use the arrows to navigate. Cannot say that I love that. Can you use the knob? You can use the knob. That's not terrible. That's not a big deal, actually. I forgot we had the knob. Swatch truck. Start printing. All right, let's give it a go. So when you download the firmware, RAR, it has docx file labeled. Wait. You're saying when you download the firmware for this, it has Precisizer? I feel like I need more light on this. We can't really see the printer printing. Move this a little bit. I'm not really sure if that's better. There we go. All right, we are heating up. Looks like bed has reached temp. Oh. Well, it's extruding. Pretty nice little bead of filament. Could probably be a hair closer, but it's still not bad. It's also printing pretty quick. Yeah, it's using my SK the cube profile, the second cube profile, and I think the acceleration on this was set. What did I say? Was it set to 4,000 or something like that? It has a Word doc labeled Precisizer followed by some Chinese characters I can't read. Oh. Well, it's definitely printing pretty quick. It's looking good. I'm pretty impressed so far. It's a lot more aggressive than what I would normally run. One, a printer like this, but two, a first test print. I've got, let's see. Perimeters are set to internal 120, external 70% of that. Infill set to 150 millimeters a second, and first layer was 60. It felt a lot faster than that to me. Looks like a little bit of under extrusion. Probably due to the speed and it not being able to melt enough. Yeah, I actually thought that I was using... I thought that it was using the Ender 2 Pro default PLA profile, which I assumed would have been like 60 millimeters a second. That's what I assumed that I sliced it at, but I was wrong. With the KP3S Pro around this price with triple linear rails, it's a hard selling unless you specifically want to build, but then I don't know if Lerdge gives you the CAD. So a couple things. One, the KP3S Pro is still missing the, what is it, the Y-axis linear rail? Or no, Z-axis linear rail? No, I think it's Y. I think it's Y-axis linear rail. You can buy it extra. We can actually take a quick look. Right, I can take a quick look and show you guys. So I was told, hopefully it's not too much of a secret, that they are, so right now they have the STL files available, and they told me that they're releasing these step files as a Christmas present. They did give me the step files just like last night. So yeah, so the Pro, you still need to buy linear rails for the Y-axis, which I think they sell plus Y-axis linear rail upgrade. So it's an extra $40 for the linear rails for the Y-axis. So yeah, they did give me the step files for this just last night, which is cool. So the fact that they give you, you know, again, granted that they actually follow through with what they say, which I assume they will, it's kind of cool that you have access to the step files, or will have access to the step files to be able to mod it really easily. I also do like the look of this printer, and I will say that the build was incredibly fun. Coming from building the SK Cube, which honestly was a bit of a nightmare, it was a tough build. I think it's improved with, you know, my Nero and 3D Print General's feedback, but coming from that to this, like, this has been really refreshing as far as a, ooh, now we got the cooling fan. The thing is chucking air. You can see the paper back here blowing. Well, maybe you can't, but the I'm impressed with what they've done with this. It feels like since they've been a manufacturer of motherboards for a long time and screens, looking at how you print, I would say acceleration is a bit high. Yeah, I think the acceleration is also pretty high on this. It doesn't need to be this high. Luckily, you can, with their firmware, just change it really quickly from the firmware. But yeah, I'm impressed, like, considering that they've just done boards and screens prior and like small accessories. I feel like a lot of thought went into this, and not just this, but they put together an entire YouTube channel, you know, of data. Let me see, if I go Lerdge. So you've got, basically, the entire assembly is in video format, as well as a really detailed PDF. I mean, again, this PDF, in my opinion, is phenomenal. There was very few parts that I was questioning things. Like, they got really clean and concise, you know, CAD grabs, if you will, have all the angles. I think they explain things really well. You know, combining that with the fact that they've got the videos to assemble it, they got the videos showing you how to sort of calibrate it. I think they did a great job. I really don't know what they could have done. I really don't know what they could have done better, other than, you know, obviously, of course, having things like linear rails would be sweet and all that, but then the price point would go up. So, my original King Room is still great, no issues. Yeah, I think that the KP3S line of printers is solid. I mean, if you saw my review on him, I think it's a great printer. I really do. So I'm not saying that this over that. I mean, I think it's a quite different scenario, considering that this is a full kit, you know? But yeah, I think that for anyone that does want a kit and doesn't want to break the bank, or sort of baby's first kit, or just a fun little project for a tiny little, like, you know, well, it's not even that tiny, really, 180 by, you know, 180 by 180 is not exactly tiny, but I think it's a cool build. When are you doing the ABL and direct drive? So I don't know when I'm gonna do the direct drive. I'm not incredibly interested in the direct drive because I don't have a tiny motor for it. It would use the large NEMA 17 motor. So I'd probably want to get a smaller one. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm torn. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it before I do all of the testing and footage that I want to get for an actual review of this, just kind of stock, because I consider that a pretty big upgrade to it. 1 second. Clipper, I will still very likely do. That being said, it's kind of cool having a non-clippered printer. I've been clippering everything, and I love Clipper, don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome, and there's so much to it, but it's kind of cool to see how this little guy's progressed, and I get that it's closed source, which means that, you know, I can only do what they've done with it. That being said, I don't know how much, other than wireless control, I really want to add to this at this point, you know? Yeah, there's a giveaway. It will open in 20 minutes. I feel like almost no one in the budget constraint can just... Wait. I feel like almost no one is so budget constrained that they can't just spend 20 bucks more than the previous Sterling and spring for Neptune 3 Pro instead. Can't be $200 for any bad. Prusa Mini killer much. Yeah, it's funny. I think the Prusa Mini is a good printer, but I don't think it's a great printer. I have 2 of them. You know, one's fairly new, like in the last year, and one's a little bit older. And I think it's a good printer. Like it can print pretty consistently, use their profiles and stuff. It's got a lot of updates, but I don't think it's like incredible. But I don't think you'll be upset if you buy it either, you know? When the MK3S Plus came in, the one that I ordered around the same time as the second Mini, I felt that was a much more dialed in printer, both on the hardware side as well as just the slicer and firmware and everything. Aaron says, did anyone say who sent the rocking chair? No. No one claimed it. I did say thank you though. I don't think there's a complete kit for a printer for such a low price point. It seems like a no-brainer for anyone wanting to try building a printer for the first time. Yeah, I don't think there is either, unless you want to go, unless you want to see if you can find like a used, or maybe not even used, but like an ANET A8, which I certainly would not recommend. How much can you still buy them? You can get an ANET A8 for $190 on Amazon. But yeah, for you know, for a non-super dangerous printer, I don't think you can get anything close to it. I really want to build a Tic Tac? What is that? Oh, is the Tic Tac the Rat Rig V-Minion, but the smaller version of it? I think someone showed me. The Tic Tac sounds familiar. I'm almost positive that's what it is. Let's see. Tic Tac. I'm sure it's probably not cheap though, to source that. Why am I not seeing it? Tic Tac printer? Weird, I don't see it coming up. Yeah, if I'm going to do the direct drive, I'm definitely gonna go with the Pancake. How much is the extruder? I don't know if they've added it to their website yet, or the direct drive. Let me see here, Lerdge shop. I will say that the parts that they have in their shop seem really fair. Like I don't see how they can have a ton of margin on, let's see, sport, accessories. Yeah, like, I mean, their extruder, you know, they're charging $10. Oh, you just can't see that. They're charging $10 for, this is the extruder that comes stock with this. And so it's a small metal extruder. I mean, again, nothing crazy. But it's got a embedded limit switch, or filament runout, which I do think is pretty cool. The print looks pretty dang decent. I think that flow might actually need to be, yeah, we'll see. So I think that's, you know, really fair as far as price goes, but let me see if they've got Lerdge motherboard, essential module, print extruder. Yeah, they still haven't added their this little extruder, the one that comes with this. I don't know how much it costs. I would imagine not a lot, considering that the most expensive thing that they sell is a $17 extruder, which looks like it comes with. Does it come with all of this? So you get a. No way. No, this is just the Hotend. Wait, no, with fan. But yeah, their stuff just isn't crazy price. The Tic Tac is on printables. Maybe I'm searching it because I'm not putting a space. That's what's screwing it up. That's probably what it is. Why am I not seeing it? I've seen it before. Oops, V-Minion. There it is. Okay. Yeah, this thing looks really like kind of if a V0 and a V-Minion got together and had a child. Super small. But I mean, you know, sourcing the parts for this is going to be substantially more expensive than this little guy that's, you know, 200 bucks. I would imagine sourcing parts for that would easily be $500 or $600. I do want to build one of those. I like it. Yeah, it's adorable. I mean, the V-Minion is a tank as is, and if you chop it down to even smaller size, I can only imagine how disgustingly rigid that is. Money is tight right now. I already have 3 working printers, including Flashback printer and 2 others in the modding stage. We gotta keep lusting. Nothing wrong with keeping up with what's out there. Tic Tac is neat. I decided to build the Rook printer since I can print the frame. Oh, interesting. What material are you going with for the frame, Zombie? I had a couple people ask about the Rook printer. I'm not crazy about 3D printers. Like, I like a lot of the 3D printed parts, but when you get down to the frame being 3D printed, I like it for the cool concept and kind of the novelty of it, but I feel like with how fairly inexpensive you can pick up a couple of aluminum extrusions are, like, I don't know that I see the practicality behind it. But I think that it probably is, I'm sure it's probably a fun build. Now I probably have all the parts for the frame and rails on hand right now. It reminds me of that really small printer from Hobby King way back. Oh man, are you talking about the, oh god, Chuck used to, oh dude. Chuck used to, if it's the printer you're thinking, or that I'm thinking that you're talking about, let me see here. Man, this stupid scam number calls me like every day. All right, let's go. All right, we're on Shep's channel. So back when, wait, can you not? Oh no, they changed it. You can't go by oldest anymore. That is a bummer. Shit. Shep's been making 3D printing videos since at least as long as me, because I met him in 2014, and that's right when I started doing 3D printing stuff. So I never had one of these. But I remember after the DaVinci 1.0, before the Ender era, Chuck was always talking about a small little printer. There we go. Is this it? The Turnigy Fabricator Mini? Oh, this is the V2 though, so we're talking, we need to go older. It would have been the V1. Oh, it was an acrylic frame. Oh man, the Mod T, dude. There we go. No, this is the Mini 2. Maybe it was the Mini 2. Oh man, I had that. That was like one of my first few printers too. 1 second here. I want to see if I can see it. I feel like it's still older. There we go. That's got to be it, right? Maker Front 3D Printer Fabricator Mini. That's news. Updates. It's back. I need to find when he first got it. There we go. Oh, she's so young. 7 years ago. Yeah, this is definitely towards the beginning, because I remember first reaching out to Chep in 2014. So this is within the first year. And I never got one of these in. I debated on it so many times, but the small build volume, I was just kind of like, ah. Oh, he put it inside the DaVinci. Yeah, the V1. This is the one I remember. Acrylic frame. I found one in like a closet when I was working at Matter Hackers that was, it It wasn't working at the time, but it was like a green acrylic frame. Pretty sure they were using ramps boards, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he shows it printing. Oh, he does, he does. Yeah, it was using, I think, like a V6 clone, right, is what it was. Man, yeah, that's right. Acrylic bed with just blue painter's tape, no heating on it. It's so cool to see this. It's just such a like nostalgia trip. Yeah, this thing's adorable. I mean, that's about the print quality we were getting back then. That's 2014, 2015 3D printer print quality right there. And we were happy with that. Like that was a good print. I think that a lot of these didn't come with any layer cooling. Yeah, this has no layer cooling. There's just the heatsink fan. You had to add the layer cooling fan, so it like was never still stock. So, anyways, that was fun. Thank you for reminding me of that. Been looking at. Oh, did I miss? 1 second here. What did I miss? Yeah, Monoprice Mini. I bought. I remember Aaron and I driving out because Monoprice, their HQ is in Ontario, California, which isn't too far from where I grew up. Like my parents' house is maybe 20 minutes away, so we drove there and picked up the Monoprice Mini, and I enjoyed that printer. I was really impressed for the price of I think $200-ish that it had a heated bed and was it direct drive? No, it wasn't. The extruder was mounted to the frame. It's honestly looking pretty damn good. I think, like I'm looking at least from the side at the layers, they're stacked really clean. Yeah, it's mind-blowing how far 3D printing has come. Like, it is crazy. I know it feels a lot of times like we're just getting more and more of the same, like with Ender 3 clones and stuff like that, but like, it has been a substantial leap. Both in just price coming down, as well as quality of, you know, the inexpensive machines getting just so much better. It's absolutely crazy. It was $250 back in the day, okay. Yeah, it's nuts. Hey, Carl. I got an antique printer bot wood. Yeah, was it the printer bot Simple? Is that what it was called? Or no, was it even before that? I saw a mini at Goodwill. It was hard not to take it home for $50. And it probably was crazy return on assemble. Yeah, it was nuts. It had a heated bed and it was assembled. You didn't have to do all like the kit stuff. Hey, Hybrid. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Do you guys remember the DaVinci printers? You had to buy their filament because of their spools. Yeah, it was my first printer. Like if we go, watch, let's go. Someone remind me in 7 minutes to start the giveaway. So it's gonna take me a second to go back in time here, but we can do it. That's when I had Aaron build a printer. All right, let's see. Before my facial hair. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was when I built my MPCNC. I was one of the first ones. I don't know how I found it, his project. This was before the rebranding of the channel when it was Dope Spawner. But yeah, the MPCNC I built was so it was one of the first. This was a cool project too. It was, the only downside was because I was living at home and didn't really have a setup in the garage for it. I couldn't really do much of anything with it. Let's see. Looking really cool, but besides the fun of building it yourself, what would be the selling point of this compared to an Ender 2 or similar price point? Honestly, that's a tough to answer. I don't know that you would get this over something else if you didn't want to go a kit route and have like the ability to sort of upgrade everything. They're supposed to be providing these step files, which would make it a lot easier to mod. So for the learning element, for the customization element, or the modability element of it, not that again you can't mod Ender 2 because there's such a big community and so much stuff for it, but Those would really be the main reasons that come to mind right now, honestly. That's really it. It doesn't look terrible. I don't think we're gonna hit our clearances. Certainly not 0.1, maybe 0.3 and 0.2. But yeah, this was such a long time ago. But the first printer I ever got was the DaVinci 1.0, and so I had to have had it at that point. Still doing all video game modding stuff. This was when I was fixing the DaVinci because it was broken. I don't even know if I'm on camera. This is my messy room at my parents' house. But yeah, it took me a long time. So like, if you look at when I got the DaVinci, okay, so I unboxed it. It says 7 years ago, but it's probably more like 8. Okay, January 1st of 2015 is when I unboxed the DaVinci 1.0. It was broken by, let's see, when did it break? First print. It was perfect to go from hacking video game consoles to hacking. Oh, okay, so it was broken by this point. This was me flashing the firmware. I mean, it was down for a really long time. But yeah, DaVinci 1.0 was the first one. And then I think the second one, the Fulgurtech i3. So I went from a pre-assembled to a kit. And this was, I live streamed the entire thing, if I'm not mistaken. Man, baby me in a super messy room. So this was, yeah, March of 2016. So about a year and 2 months later, I bought my second 3D printer. And I'm pretty sure we live streamed the entire build for this one. Where is it? I don't know. Maybe I didn't keep it up, but I feel like I did. Lots of mods on that. Lots of mods on that. And then I went to a wooden frame printer, which I thought was kind of neat. It still had a heated bed. It was like Bob's CNC. That is my living room. That was just an unboxing. It's crazy how far the channel has come. But yeah, this thing had like fishing lights for it. It was nuts. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Okay, so 3. I don't know how well you can see that. 3 spins, no problem. I had to, like, I mean, I guess essentially get it started. 2. I don't think 2. 1's definitely not going to work. I saw 1 starting to weld at the first one. Looks like it might just be. I feel like 2 might require a little bit of. Yeah, might just be 0.3. I'm sure if we slowed it down, we can get some better. Okay, let me really quickly here get focus on my hand, and then switch it to manual focus so we can look at it without it freaking out. There we go. Okay. No. So the lines, though, as far as it's extruding on top of each other, were really clean. Like I was looking from the side, I was like, wow, those are laying down really nicely. Our first layer, again, probably could be a hair closer, but it's still not bad. It's still pretty close. And the top of it, there are some light segments where it probably could be extruding a little bit more, and some segments where it's extruding a little bit too little. I mean, this is a really small area right here, but honestly, for a first print with just a random profile for an Ender 2 using SK Cube speeds, I don't think it's bad at all. So, I really want a bamboo, no problem, power starter. How, I don't know, are you asking about speed, how loud is this or how loud is the X1? X1's loud. I mean, I'm not a person that's bugged by loud 3D printers because I'm, you know, trinamic drivers and stealth chop and all that were not a thing. And all of my 3D printers were in my bedroom, like a couple feet away from my bed. So the sounds of robots moving is my white noise. But based off of current standards, it's loud. There's no denying it. And I don't think that there's anything you could do. You'd either be sacrificing speed. Well, you'd be sacrificing speed because you either have to have slower motion as well as less cooling, which would affect quality as well as speed. Giveaway time, yes. Let me go ahead and post this. So as always, we are giving away our weekly spool of Polymaker Filament. So it's a roll of PLA, ABS, PTG, or PTG, PLA, ASA, ABS. Any color, as long as it's not like a carbon fiber or glass foil or something like that. And it is global and with free shipping. So let me go ahead and post the form for this. Shorten. Okay, posting it in chat. Yeah, I will say that the pin message. The P1P so far is quieter than the X1 Carbon, or is more quieter. Is quieter than the X1 Carbon, but the reason I'm understanding for that is just because it's not enclosed. The enclosure of the X1 amplifies the noise, which sort of makes sense because it creates a bit of like a hollow cavity that sound just amplifies out of. If you were to enclose the P1P, which I think is a cool element of customizability for it and possibly adding function to it, you're going to be very similar, especially if you add the fan, cooling fan to the side, which for $20, I don't know why you wouldn't, because the P1P not enclosed is going to be primarily a PLA, PTG, TPU, and some nylon printer. And for PLA especially, though, you're going to want as much cooling as you can possibly get. So you're going to want that fan. We need to print something else. Guess that's because speed. My finder is silent. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Review Kings? John, yeah, the X1 Carbon quiet will come later. Yeah, if you want the X1 Carbon quiet, maybe build like enclosure for it with insulation foam and stuff like that. My printers must be in the same room where I sleep. Yeah, if I had the choice, I wouldn't be sleeping next to an X1. 140 by 140 is the downside. What hasn't been an issue yet. Oh, interesting. Is it the finder that has it? Hey, what's up, Tunky? Happy Wednesday. According to CNC Kitchen with a noise meter, the CPMP is actually louder. I wonder if it's a perception thing with the difference in the noise with the metal. Interesting. I didn't watch his video on it because I try not to watch other videos on printers I'm testing out. To me, it sounds quieter, and I had them both literally sitting here on the same surface printing, so it could be the tone. Like one's more of a deep noise, while one's like I don't know. Look at an NX printer, faster than X1, but still a bit more quiet. It's possible, probably only with a lot more money. Yeah, the NXs are stupid expensive. I know that with the like Fabrico's putting out a kit for it, which I think is like a grand-ish, but you still need to add a lot more things to it. Yeah, let's get this thing printing. Hey, what's up? Hey, Tim. I just used a sports speed on the X1 Carbon for the first time today. It's in the basement, so noises. Yeah, I put mine's out in the garage now because the tables I have in here are not rigid enough to print fast. I just amplified the. It went pretty good. The only wheel that spins is 0.3. 0.2 I think is close to wanting to basically break off. I see the edge where it sort of bonded. So part of it could be that my nozzle needed to be a hair higher. Part of it's probably also how quick the damn first layer was going. But as far as the layers, like the stack on the side looks really clean to me. And overall, I don't think it's terrible. Is there room for improvement? Yeah, absolutely. But again, considering that I didn't realize I was going Super Saiyan mode speed-wise, I don't think it's, yeah, the layers on the side look really good. I was really impressed by that, so. Okay, we need to print something else. What do we want to print? What do we want to print? Let's go to printables. We have the red Christmas PLA loaded up. Doesn't mean we have to print something Christmassy, I also, I think today's gonna be a fairly short stream, so maybe it should be something kind of small. Maybe a Christmas tree ornament? It kind of feels appropriate. Looks like too much flow or not tuned PA. I think there's a little bit too much flow. Still, I believe. Does this firmware even have pressure advance? That's a great question. Let me get a print started and we'll take a look. I don't know if they've updated it with that yet. Let's see, files. Do these print vertically? I'm curious to see how well the adhesion's gonna work. We'll probably have to use a brim. Let's do, I don't know which one I want to do. Let's go with this one. Full set of 6 unique. I printed these using map PLA. I printed the ornament, all 6 ornaments. All right. Wait, did it not? Is it still downloading? That's weird. I wonder why an STL is taking 60 seconds to download. I did see that my internet or my ISP sent me a message saying that I'd used like 75% of my data, which I didn't realize that there was a cap on local. Oh, no, maybe I did know there was a cap. I've just never gotten close to hitting it. I don't know what I did this month that would have caused it, but I'm wondering if they're throttling my speeds a little bit now. It's actually over on MakerDeck right now. Oh, Pesla's star. Is it small? I kind of want to print something with a little bit more height to it right now. I will definitely print one of these, but because they lay down, I kind of want to print something tall. Yeah, I'm gonna do tall. I will print out one of the stars though. Okay, so let's do this. I almost don't even want to do. Let's see. Perimeters, spiral base, yes. Bottom 2. An hour and 18 minutes. Can we go quicker? Let's try. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize first layer height was also set at 0.3. That definitely, I'm sure, did not help with my gap for those wheels. Yeah, we'll do no brim. We can also, yeah, what Zombie's saying, we can go thicker. We can go thicker on the extrusion. Where are we? Print settings. Interesting. I didn't realize that this was set to perimeters. Let's go 0.8 millimeters. 0.8 millimeters. All right, should be a little thicker. Looks like one of those old Nerf footballs. Did anybody have those? They're kind of like a mini football. Nerf, I think they were from Nerf as well. Let me grab the flash drive. Is Preacher Slicer better than Cura nowadays? This is actually Super Slicer. I was Cura. I was a Repetier host user for a very, very long time. And then I switched to Cura, and I used Cura for like 3 or 4 years. And the only reason I kind of transitioned off of Cura was, let me see here, USB drive, ornament, was because my primary computer is an M1 Mac Mini. That's what I do like all my editing on and most of my stuff on. This is a Windows PC, this desktop. But It was not playing nicely with the M1 chip when it came out. It was just rough. I was having crashing. Oops. I couldn't slice even remotely complex models, and it was a bummer. And so that's what actually got me using Prusa Slicer much more. And then the reason why Super Slicer is because Clipper stuff. I don't think Prusa Slicer still has Clipper in it. Let's see, directory, ornament shape 2, start print. Yes, all right. But honestly, I'm of the opinion, just like with 3D printing in general, that the best slicer is the one that works best for you. I mean, they pretty much all do the same things to an extent, right? Like, sure, there's certain features that some do different than others, but like, the bottom line is you're taking a 3D model and you're slicing it up, you know, into layers and outputting G-code. So if the slicer you're using does all the things that you want it to do and you're comfortable with the workflow, then is there any reason to deviate from that? Meh. Scrolling for the print menu on this, you either need to scroll or use the arrows on the side. They have touchscreen, like touchscreen arrows, but yeah, you can't like flick upwards or anything like that. Yeah, I'm curious about the lychee slicer. I think that more options is generally a good thing. The only downside is that it could be more confusing for newbies, you know? Having too many options, like I for sure get like menu shock if I go to a place and there's too many options. I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I just kind of freak out internally a little bit, so. Oh, Kira, duh, sorry zombie, my brain. Yeah, I don't mind the, Kira has sort of like a orchestra menu, like where it's just one long menu. I don't mind it so much. But I get why people don't like it. And I also get why people don't like Prusa Slicer / Super Slicer, because it can be more intimidating looking. Because you just have like tons of settings laid out, right? It just seems, that's not right. Like when I first went from Cura to Prusa Slicer and seeing all this, it actually reminded me a hell of a lot of Repetier Host, which just felt old. I think I was using Repetier Host with like Cura Engine and Slick 3R. I had both like engines imported, and since this is based off Slick 3R and Prusa Slicer, there's definitely a lot of similarities, but oh shoot, I thought Aaron turned the vacuum on. That fan chucks a lot of air. Why is it going? It feels pretty damn slow to me though. 3D view. Sliced preview, G-code preview. Oh, I have a feeling I have a minimal layer time. That must be what's going on here. Filament settings, cooling. Layer time goal, 5 seconds. That's why it's going the speed it's going. Okay, yeah, that's gotta be it. And then you can see as the layers get a little bit bigger, it has more time to cool. I don't think we need... I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it really quick. Save progress now. I'm gonna turn off the layer time. I realize it probably might, well, it might be fine. That fan's moving a lot of air, and I think that, let's just try it. Okay, so let's go. I'm also curious to see what's the flow output. Wait, do they not have the ability? Yeah, volumetric flow rate. That is aggressive. I don't know that it's gonna be able to hit 15. I think I'm gonna have to make it a little bit lower than that. It's probably because I've got 0.3 millimeter layer heights. So all right, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go slicing. Let's drop this down to 0.2. 0.2. Let's see what that does to our flow. Okay, that looks much better. It's around 12-ish. I'm okay with that. Then I also want to do one last thing, cooling. Hopefully now our speeds are quicker. Yes. So we are printing roughly somewhere between, it looks like 10 to 12 millimeters cubed per second as far as our volumetric flow, which feels much closer to what I can probably do. In filament settings, you would just want to cap the max extrusion. I don't think I've done that route. Max speed reduction. Oh, max volumetric speed. Yeah. Cool. That's way easier than... I've always just kind of done it manually where I change a setting. I'm like, it's close, and then I'll tweak a little bit. That makes it a lot easier. Okay, so let's reslice this. Cool. Export, I'll just call it updated ornament. Hey, what's up, Eggy? Yeah, that's cool. Zombie, that's definitely nice. Yeah, we're unplugging it. Been testing out some stuff, and I've been using Stefan's his tool for testing sort of the max capabilities of flow, and that's cool. That's in there. I've been setting values based off of that. I just have been doing it more manually, where I sort of adjust, slice it, then I see, okay, cool, this is going over or going under what the max is based off of the testing, and then I just kind of adjust it based off that. But I haven't done it where it's automated like that. Updated ornament. It's much easier just to cap it, so that way you don't have to screw around with it. Okay. Oops. Sorry, spool. Hey, what's up, Viking? And you can auto slow down for TPU. Yep. My rafts always make my extruder click. Interesting. Tries to put out too much. Yeah, it was interesting. So I've got a video coming up. I've been playing around with the Exoslide direct drive and all metal Hotend and the belt motion system on an Ender 3, and I can show you guys actually. You guys get sneak peeks. So I ran PLA through it at 210, 220, and 230. And 220 is what I'd normally run, but I know that's warm for a lot of people. Then 230 is definitely hot for PLA, but I was just curious to see how it would impact the max flow. Where the heck is it? 1 second. Yeah, so here are my results. You guys get a sneak peek of what'll be in the video. So basically these are the 3 different temps I used. These are the different flow rates. So it was set to between 8 to 14. That was like the default range in the web. I used the web app version of Stefan's test because I prefer it over the spreadsheet that he had put together. And you can see that at 210, so 0.64 grams, or was it 64 milligrams, is the correct amount to be extruded. And at 210, it does okay up to about 12, and then it drops off, and then heavily sort of drops off. And 220, which is what I pretty much always print PLA at, I was able to print quicker, quite a bit quicker, I mean, really. And then 230, even quicker, but I think that there's a trade-off. Obviously, the hotter you print, you are going to need also additional cooling to have your prints not look terrible. It's one thing to be able to melt it, but also can your motion keep up with it? So it was interesting to see, and definitely I know that in his video where he initially was showing it on like a stock Ender 3 and some other setups, but the increased temperature certainly does allow you, even without increasing your hardware, you know, obviously ramp up your flow rate, but there's still, again, other trade-offs. Can you move quick enough? Is your stuff as rigid? You know, all that. But it was kind of cool to see that, again, the 220 that I print at, generally, 215 to 220 for PLA, did allow me to push more material than, you know, 210. And just having some numbers behind it, or a little bit of numeric data, was kind of cool. Hey, what's up, Zaret? Long time no see. All right, we're definitely moving quicker. It is looking awful. it looks bad. I definitely would say that the layer cooling time is the reason why. Okay, let's kill this because it just looks straight up bad. And we'll go back to the previous G-code file, which has 5 seconds, 5-second goal layer time, because that was looking much better. We would need much more cooling. I mean, it's looking pretty rough. All right, let's go print, and then we'll just go ornament shape. Yes. Man, what a difference! Check out. So these were the layers from the previous one with a 5-second minimum goal per layer, and this was with just completely removing it full send. Definitely a lot rougher. If you print too hot, the overhangs will sag badly. Yeah. Yeah, you need, if you're printing hot, which I mean, I do print on the warmer side of things, but you absolutely need more cooling to sort of counter that. Or yes, overhangs will look terrible. Not to mention the increase in VOCs, if I recall, is exponential even with PLA. Interesting. I have not seen that info about volatile organic compounds. I guess that makes sense. The hotter you go, the more you're burning, the more fumes you're possibly generating. Yeah, being busy. No, this is a 0.8 line width zombie. The only thing that changed between the first one and the second one was removing the minimum layer cooling time, and I capped the volumetric flow at 12. Being busy. Are you printing like online, Zara, or just for friends locally? Slower and cooler seems to get best prints most of the time. Yeah, 100%. If you don't care about speed, you certainly will very likely get much better results, or at least better results going slower. Less vibrations, less needing to cool things quickly, just a lot less of everything. What for part cooling fans are on here? 5015. This is a. What is this? Is it a? It's definitely a frick. Is it a 5015? Cables, nylon braids, category, electronics, display, motor drivers, link, motherboard. I don't know if it's a... It's a... Is it a 4020? Maybe it's a 4020. It has to be a 4020 then, because the other ones were 3010. So yeah, it's a 4020. It just feels like it's chucking a lot of air. I mean, I feel... Maybe it's the fan shroud that's making it seem that way more than anything. That's probably what it is. The fan shroud's only hitting it from one direction. It's basically right underneath it, just pointing one way. Yeah, it's a 4020. Local Warhammer community, but thinking of opening an Etsy store, got some merchant licenses. Nice. I've met quite a few people, man, that exclusively print not their models, you know, on Etsy, and basically using a merchant license, and they're doing really, really, really well. So even if it's just to recoup, you know, on some materials and stuff, could be cool. Thoughts on the APOS? Have you tried it yet? I have it here, and I need to try it. I've had it for quite a while, actually. I just wasn't sure what the heck I wanted to install it on. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I wanted to install it on, and I haven't had a chance to do any like actual modeling myself. But, oops, that's a screw I don't want to lose. Yeah, this is it. It's a really nice looking extruder. The gear ratio is nuts. I don't remember what they said. Is it 5? I'd have to look, but it's a crazy little extruder. What I'm likely going to do at this point now is going to bolt it to their, why can't I think of what their, I can't think of what their Hotend's called right now. I'm probably gonna bolt it to their new Hotend. On the version I was sent, they didn't add any thermal compound to the heat break. And so I need to order that, actually. That's on my list. And then there's a guy that I follow on Twitter that makes awesome tool heads. Gorgeous looking tool heads. Let me see if I can find him really quick. 1 second here. XG, yeah, XG. I want to call it NG, but that's Micro Swiss. The new extruder looks nice. It has a 5:80 ratio. That's crazy. Yeah, drop effects. It's the XG. The XG is what I'm talking about. Ordered a Revo Micro full kit for the Prusa Mini. Hope it's getting here soon. Nice. Yeah, I'm finally going to install a Revo. It's going to be going on the Mercury 1 build that we're starting next week. The Revo 6 that I originally bought for the Prusa MK3S Plus is going to be going on there. I decided I never wanted to tear it down. It works fine, and I just didn't see the point. Okay, so what the heck is this? Oh, wait, no, I think it's, I found him. Squirrel F3D. So, Squirrel F3D makes awesome models, and where's the one I saw recently? So that's an orbiter. I swore he did one for this new extruder. Nope, that's an orbiter. It might only be on his Patreon. Oh, the Apis, I got one of those with a dragon you checked the other day. It looks great. Are you going, are you going to make it compatible with your, with the printer you're working on, Viking? Not the dragon, but the Rapido. No worries. Let's see. I saw it. I don't know where I saw it. Maybe it was on Instagram they posted it the other day. I don't know where I saw it. It's right here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this looks beautiful. This is very possibly the setup I'm gonna go with. So yeah, I love it. Dual blower fan setup, getting hit from both sides. BL Touch mount, I'm not necessarily crazy about, but I do have a BL Touch, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to use it on this setup, I suppose. And it looks like, you know, up top here, a permanent housing, so you can just keep an accelerometer. It just, I really like, yeah, it looks epic, right? I just love, his renders are beautiful, and the work that I've seen him do is just absolutely gorgeous. So I'd be honored to print this out and use this setup. Yeah, it looks incredible. I'm always blown away by just the, I don't know, the communities and creators' ability to create things. It's mind-blowing, man, some of the stuff. All right, we should be seeing speed increase soonish here. It's looking really good. Looking really good. Zaren says, check out the Discord link I posted to you right now. It's for the Ender 3. Also, we're going to be doing the drawing for the Polymaker spool in a moment here, so I'll leave it up for like 2 more minutes. If you have not filled out the form that's posted in chat, do so. Don't switch. Let's see. Whoa, that's really pretty. I'm gonna show it, Zeret. So Zeret just sent me this. This looks gorgeous. A toolhead designed for the Creality Ender 3 series sports the following. So it looks like you're still keeping the roller wheels, which is also kind of cool because that means it is likely compatible with more than these, and it's probably likely. Well, okay, so they're reusing the plate. But it should really be compatible with any machine running 2020 extrusions then. You can source those plates for pretty inexpensive. It actually reminds me, the look a little bit reminds me of a EVA toolhead, a little bit. Maybe not quite, but I mean, I guess there's how many different ways can you make a toolhead, right? So there's gonna be some crossover. It's gorgeous looking though. That's really nice. Yeah, a certain element of this reminds me almost of kind of like a merge of multiple toolhead styles. That's neat though. It's really cool looking. Orbiter with a run out, nice. Yeah. I'll try to see if I can find room for it. The Fender Core XY, but I think will be a better fit. That's the bigger one, right? The I doubt it's called. I doubt you say it like Weimer. But that's the bigger one, I think, that I've seen. Have you seen the Vorno tap, and why do you agree? Have you seen, and why do you agree with me that Nozzle? Yes, so I have seen tap. I didn't catch the live stream live. This will be the last rant I go off of, and then we'll do the giveaway. Again, last thing, if you haven't filled it out, do it now, and then I'm unpinning it. So Vorno announced tap, right? Which I looked at it a little bit. I haven't looked insanely into it, but it uses the nozzle. There's basically the whole tool head can rock up and down on a small linear rail. And so it's using the nozzle to lift the tool head up, which then triggers a different sensor, which I can't remember if it's a, someone was telling me last week what it was. It's not an inductive sensor, it's a optical switch of sorts that's being used. So nozzle-based probing is awesome because you don't have to worry about a offset of sorts, right? Also, it would be really easy to just swap. It should be compatible with really any material, although nozzle would have to be warmed up so that way you don't have any blob of material on it. So maybe that would limit the surfaces, but things like powder-coated spring steel or powder-coated, like hard steel bed should be fine. I don't know how it will do with certain smooth surfaces. I think it's rad. I mean, some of the biggest annoyances of the current leveling setup is calibrating the offset in X and Y, and also calibrating your Z offset. And if you just need to basically, I would imagine you'd still have to do a paper method at least once, so that way it knows how far, but there'd be much less calibration, and it should be really repeatable depending on the mechanism used. And I know they did, I saw like, I skimmed through the stream because I didn't have time, but I saw the data points. I know that they had shown its repeatability and its testing, and that I think they've been working on it. I think they said for like 6 months, so yeah, it looks nice. Laser line break, optical. Okay, yeah, it's optical. I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. I would love to test it out. I don't have a printer compatible right now. It's not available for the Switchwire at this point, so it'll probably be a little bit. But yeah, I'd love to test it out. And I think it's gonna be great. Okay, let me undo or unpin this and grab everyone's entries. 78 entries, nice. Hey, if you have not smacked the like button, please do so. We're at 63, and it looks like there's 86 viewers, and we're trying to break 100. That is our goal. I appreciate you forever. Yeah, let's do the thing. Okay, 78 responses. Let's see if I select them all, if they all show up. Wheel of names. Cool, we got everybody. All right. Thanks, Top Show. Macro sets, HE, Hotend at 150, so no damage. Nice. So I guess 150 is probably enough in most instances to at least soften most common materials that people would be using. So that's cool. So worth it for these CPUs. Yes, I imagine I'll lower the speed somewhat. Oh, that's right. I remember people talking about weight a little bit. But still, I mean, there's a trade-off, right, between speed and reliability. And so for a lot of people, if it really is as reliable as it's probably going to be, it's very likely a trade-off that's worth taking. Okay. All right, we are doing the drawing. Massive thank you again to Polymaker for being just absolutely awesome. Great company, great team, awesome material. I've been using a ton of their material lately, from PLA to their ABS and ASA, and it's just been super consistent and great stuff. So thank you to them. Let's go ahead and get this going here. We definitely need a better song. This is awful. Let's do, what do we want, guys? What's this? It's gotta be an appropriate song for the occasion. I feel like we kind of need this thing a little bit more pumped up. There we go. I like this. This is good. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's do a couple shuffles. Review. It's closed, the giveaway, man. It's open for half an hour every stream. I always announce it, and it's pinned in chat. But there will be one next week. There's one every single week. Thanks to Polymaker. Okay. All right, everybody. Good luck. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hey, that is a new one. NH3D Canada. Congratulations on being our weekly winner. Let's get some confetti, a little cheer action. Congratulations. So if you have not been here before, I don't know. The name doesn't look incredibly familiar, but I will send you an email probably later on tonight, unless I forget, and then it'll be in the next couple days. But later on tonight, that'll just have a form, and you'll put who you are, what your address is, the spool that you want. Usually it's just the serial number or the SKU, and then Polymaker will get that sent out. So yeah, massive congratulations, and I will send you an email later on. My country name? I'm in the US. I am in Idaho, and it is cold here right now. I don't know what the Top Show gamers is. Congrats, please reach out to Polymaker Discord if you need any help picking out a spool or with the giveaway. Yeah. So speed's definitely picking up as it's getting higher. This is 0.3 millimeter layer heights and a 0.8 millimeter line width running in base mode. Let's see, let me drop it down a little bit and get underneath. Burp. It's looking really good. Like, it's looking really good. Okay, I lied. It's looking okay. It's all about perspective. So I think again, it's a cooling thing. It's got one fan, and it's definitely moving a lot of air, the one fan, but it is again just one fan. Oops, sorry, camera. Which means that it's not cooling equally on all sides. I anticipate this side probably looks a little bit better because the fan's blowing from this side. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's the overhangs. It could definitely use a secondary fan. I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest limiting factors on this printer as far as speed goes, is just not having enough cooling. It's moving a lot of material right now, though. Again, considering it's 0.3 layer height, 0.8 line width, and it's definitely pushing in a lot of material. It'll be interesting to see what it'll be interesting to see when if I scale it down a little bit, at what point it's able to get sort of consistent, fairly good looking overhangs. Extrusion's looking pretty dang consistent though, which is a plus. Hey, there he is, NH3D Canada. Hey, congratulations. What did it say the max extrusion was going to be? I had set it to 12. Wait, no, we changed it. What did I change? Okay, so this was with, didn't we set it to, yeah, 12 millimeter cube. Volumetric flow rate is maximized when printing parameters the volumetric rate of 18? Did not set it up correct? No, I think that seems right. This isn't, so we went back to the old one. So this one, you know what? I don't think we, Zombie, I don't think that we had set that value for this slice. I think it was the reslice that I then canceled. So I think that right now there's no limiting factor as far as volumetric flow. It was the speed was the limiting factor that I slowed it down. So cooling, also layer time goal. Let's go back to 5 seconds. That was giving much better results. But yeah, I don't think I had that applied. That's probably why. It's probably pushing a bit more. How's Erin doing? Erin's doing good. She's probably, I don't know, she's out in the living room right now. She's home now. She's not working. Which has been awesome because I'm trying to, you weren't here, but the doctor said my sugar levels were like pre-diabetic when I went a couple weeks ago. And so I've had to change my eating habits. And so having her home has been awesome because while I'm working on all the like crazy project stuff, I normally just panic eat the quickest thing in the freezer. We've been eating a lot healthier foods, like lots of salads, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that. But yeah, she's doing pretty good. I'm sure you're asking more about the pregnancy side of things, but good. Yeah, good. Baby's healthy, kicking and moving a ton, and yeah. Yeah, everything's going pretty good. Thanks, man. Thanks, my butt. I try to catch all of your streams, but I work weird hours. Thought I could catch this one. Oh, wow. Hey, no worries. Again, I know that when this was started, it was like the peak of the pandemic. And so Wednesdays, middays seemed about right because just about everybody was at home. And then I tried changing it, but so much of the viewership is not in the United States that I felt really bad. I didn't want to like be like, all right, sorry everyone that's been hanging out. Like, we're no longer gonna do a time that works for everyone. So when I started working last November at Liper, and I asked if I can keep my Wednesdays off so I can do my midday streams. So I know it's kind of weird for everyone. NH3D Canada 1 hybrid. It looked around 22. Oh, 22, yeah. It's moving a lot of material. I think that what I'll likely do after this completes is just reprint it out, but with that cap, and see how that improves things. I think I didn't change. You know what? I changed a lot of things after this one because I went down to 0.2. Yeah, the volumetric flow is just way too high. I think that this one is printing at a 0.3 layer height with a 0.8 line width with no cap really, and no minimum layer time. And the next one I'm going to run will have a 0.2 layer height we'll keep the 0.8 line width, and we'll have the cap, and we'll have 5-second goal time. So have a nice evening, everyone. It is late there. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. Have a wonderful night. Yeah, we'll probably call it soonish here. Again, next week is going to be a ton of fun. We're starting the Mercury 1 build, so it's going to be an ongoing process that might have some breaks in between some of the streams, but the sort of goal is, I guess for anyone that doesn't know what it is, I shouldn't assume that everyone knows what I'm talking about. 1 second. 0. All right. So this is the Mercury 1. These guys, although this one has, is it the Hydra on this one? Yeah, it does. Okay, so the Mercury 1, or Mercury 1.1 basically, is a conversion project, or it's a project that converts a Ender 5, Ender 5 Pro, or Ender 5 Plus into a Core XY. And so we are going to be doing the base conversion, which will be converting it from its standard motion system to the Core XY and changing out the stock Bowden setup for their modified EVA 2.4. And then we will be clippering it with the stock board, and then we'll be adding a clicky probe, and then we'll be adding the Hydra, which removes the cantilever style bed or dual Z axis bed for the Plus to a 3-point triple lead screw with linear rails, like mini linear rails, gantry tramming setup or bed tramming setup. And when we do that conversion, we'll have to swap the board from the stock one to probably the M8P, which I've never, well, no, that's not true. I worked with that one a little bit, but not a lot. So that will be interesting. And then we'll have to figure out how to mount all the electronics. So the whole process is going to take quite a long time. Let's just say quite a long time. So we'll probably do it in bits and pieces, and I'm really looking forward to it though. It's gonna be fun. Hope you get these levels under control. All the best to you 3. Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I'm sure I'll be fine. Honestly, like, I've known for a long time that my just like habits have gone to crap. When I was working in an office, I was moving a lot more and traveling and just doing different things, and it's changed. So I'm sure it'll be good. It was just kind of more of like a kick in the pants that, hey, like, you know, all that crap you've been eating and not moving, like, stop that. So, but yeah, I've been pretty hardcore about changing almost immediately. Like, I allow myself a soda a week versus a soda a day. And just a lot less sweets and junk food, honestly. Switching from white bread to whole wheat stuff and, you know, stuff like that. So the ERCF is giving me PTSD from the last few days. Oh no, is it not been going well? Yeah, I think that the ERCF will likely go on the Mercury 1 as well. We will probably build that afterwards. So it's pretty close. This feels pretty close to just redesigning the whole thing. So if you don't go with the all the extra stuff, it's making me a little bit dizzy at this point. The actual base conversion uses a lot of the stock stuff, right? So you basically, I don't know if there's a good photo of it. Let me see. I guess I could go to the Discord. 0G, 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 there we go. So let's go to printer showcase. See if I can find one that doesn't have the EVA toolhead. Does this one not have the EVA toolhead? Ah, that's gorgeous. Some of these builds are just like, oof, like so nice. Hoping to find one that just has done the base conversion. There we go. No, they're doing the rails. feel like most everybody starts off... Oh, here we go. This is kind of... No, this is also pretty heavily modified. But this is essentially an Ender 5 Plus, right? Like, they're still rocking the same two sides that they've got. And the main thing you're changing... So, you can keep the bed. You can keep... I mean... essentially the BL Touch that it comes with, or the CR Touch or whatever, and the entire frame and electronics if you don't do the Hydra. And the only things you're really swapping out are you're getting a better tool head and you're going with a Core XY motion system. So you don't have to, like, that in itself is still a really solid upgrade. You add, even if you have an Ender 5 Pro that's got the cantilever bed, you can add some like printed stiffeners to it and you'd still have a far superior printer than you started with. But yeah, if you go the full route, it's definitely, mine will not have very much of the original one. Pretty close. I broke down and purchased the Hydro kit from Fabrico from Mercury 1. I have some parts already and the rest should be here Thursday or Friday. The Manta M8P will go in this one. Oh, nice. I'm excited to see your M8P go together then. I have a feeling you'll probably have yours in before me, and so I might be asking you, like, hey, what mounting solution did you use and all that stuff. That's awesome. I think I still need to print out, so far I've printed out the base conversion and the tool head. I need to print out the Hydra stuff, but I'm not in a super big rush because it won't be in the same stream that we do that stuff. Can't wait for next week. Yeah, I'm excited too, Edwin. I'm probably missing one thing in my config, driving me crazy. I'm sorry, Zombie. Sometimes, honestly, man, sometimes it helps to just stop and come back to it later on. I've had quite a few times where I'm like beating my head against the wall and just spending hours, and I'm a really stubborn person, which has its like benefits but also negatives. And sometimes I just need to like call it quits. And there's been plenty of times where I come back with a fresh mind and I'm like, dude, it was staring me in the face the entire time. So I'm having problems with MMU2S. Every time I load cheap filament like eSun, the MMU gets stuck. I'm probably, sorry for the Polymaker. Notifications. The Mercury 1 is the gantry replacement, converting to linear rails and Core XY. Oh, that's right, yeah, linear rail. You can keep all electronics. Hydra adds the bed, which is better for the 5 and 5 Pro cantilever bed. Yeah, so exactly, you don't have to replace, it's intended to be able to like take a fairly inexpensive printer, like if you either have, or you can pick up an Ender 5 Pro, probably used or returned for you know, a couple $100, and then you can get the Mercury 1 kit from Fabrico or self-sourced, but I think offhand it's like $140, $150, so not very expensive, and you can have yourself a pretty sweet Core XY. Yeah, you can have yourself a pretty sweet Core XY, so. I'm also printing parts for the Rook. Should have the build very soon. I'm curious to see how that goes and what you think about it, Zombie, because I've had a lot of people ask. SolidFork Gato repo has DIN rail mounts for Mint. Ooh, awesome, Delmar. Yeah, that's likely what I'm gonna go with, is a DIN mount setup. I haven't used them before. I think that's what's used on the 2.4 and the Trident, but because I don't have either of those, like I haven't used DIN mounts or DIN rails. Aaron, can I get you anything? No, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it pretty soon here. In just probably a couple more minutes. Thank you, though. You're seeing holes in the print? Oh, yeah, you are seeing some holes in the print. Yeah, the flow is just too high. I need to lower it. We'll probably kill it. I don't even know if I'll let it finish. There's no point, really. I can show a comparison after when I go with 0.2 layer height and then cap the flow rate. Is there a conversion project for the Ender 3 S1 to a Core XY? It's not really designed, like, I'm trying to think of like what would be required. You need quite a few more extrusions. You need quite a bit more stuff. The main thing I think would be extrusions. I see a lot of people building Rooks. It's like the poor man's V0. I might have to look into it a little bit more then, man. I'm curious, Zombie, please let me know what your thoughts are if you do like a good summary video or stream on it. The problem with stopping and coming back, at least when I took too long, is I forgot everything I was doing. That is relatable. Lisa, have a great week, everyone. Are you taking off, Lisa? Have a wonderful night. I will see you hopefully next Wednesday when we're starting the new build, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I was gonna say a switchfire would make a lot more sense than to go with a Core XY. I'm sure you could do it, but it would require a lot more extrusions. And kind of one of the issues is I don't have the S1 in front of me, but a lot of the modern bed slinger printers, or just printers in general, they're not using your standard extrusions where they have slots on all sides. Like they only have slots on maybe 2 sides of them, and that, although it looks aesthetically pleasing, it looks nice, it's not nearly as practical for the ability to like mod. You don't have as much options on you know which way to go with it. Cap flow at 10. See Eli's cap flow at 10. See Eli's tuning for flow rate chart on Hotends. Can you tag me in that, Delmar? I've been using Stefan's test, basically where it lays down the little blobs. Yeah, I think we'll call it there, guys. I will get another print of this started with the adjusted settings, which I think it'll have no problem doing, and then I'll take a photo of them side by side so you can see how it turns out. But I'm happy that the printer's up and running, and I'm still probably going to clipper it, but it other than the wireless aspect of it, there's not a whole lot I want from clipper on this printer. Like I don't know. The fact that you can adjust, well, input shaping, and I guess, and I need to check with pressure advance as well. But I don't know that speed is going to be the limiting factor on this as much as flow is going to be. So we'll see. But either way, I'm glad everything's working. This was a really fun build, and I think that again, for $180 for all the hardware, or $205 if you get the aluminum components and the bimetal heat break, like it's a cool little budget cantilever printer to build, and I think the instructions make it where most anybody that wants to dip their feet into a build, it's certainly really accessible. And I'm hoping that they release the step files. They did send them to me, and I will wait to see what they do with them, because they said Christmas is when they were going to be releasing it, which is coming up soon, but they're out there and it seems like they're not scared to share them, so I'm hoping they stick with what they said. So it's an opportunity to try Marlin Input Shaper. Yeah, I don't know if they've got Marlin support for this. They had talked about it. But then they were like, oh, I think they got back to me saying they think the clipper is the more important one to have, which I agreed at the time, that you know, at least having that option would be cool. But yeah, it would be neat if Marlin Input Shaper on this would be cool if that's an option. I just don't think that their screen's gonna work, and that's kind of a bummer, because I do like their touchscreen. It's quite nice. I sent you the DIN mount files for the Manta MAP via Discord. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody. I hope everybody has an awesome rest of their Wednesday and a great week. I will schedule the Mercury 1 build for next week, and the goal is, let's just see how it goes. I don't want to set a goal. I always do that, and let's just see how much progress we can make. I'm going to be going based off of CAD for that. I was able to get the project CAD, so that way I can use that as reference. Most of the time, there is Scott's video on it. There's a playlist, but because we're going to be building on stream, it's tough to watch videos for the entirety of it and go back and forth. So we're going to try building it based off of CAD. Hopefully it'll go well. I'm excited. This has kind of been a long time in the making, and hopefully you guys are too. So also, I will brainstorm as much as I can about the 100K subscriber stream, and I will hopefully have some more info by next week for everybody. So on that note, thank you everyone again. If you have not already, hit the like button. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being awesome, and I will catch you guys next time. Take a look again into the Discord, and I'll post how the slower version, or the version of this print with less flow turns out later on. Anyways, I gotta go eat some food. Have a wonderful night, everybody, and I will talk to you guys all soon.